Josh's House of Nerd podcast.
Greetings, Nerd Nation. I'm Josh, and I welcome you to the podcast. Grab a cold evergreen goblet of blue eggnog and sit by the Christmas tree and make yourself comfortable listening to something less atrocious and more festive than the Star Wars holiday special here at my House of Nerd. Now for tonight's sponsor, Christmas is coming, and what is the one thing that is on everyone's mind this time of year and stresses them out? Well, of course, it's what kind of jelly you're going to give to the ones you love. Well, there's nothing to worry about except for grandma putting cat food in the jello mold or someone dragging you out into the middle of nowhere and leaving you for dead with Clark's Jelly of the Month Club. Clark's Jelly of the Month Club, the gift that keeps on giving the whole year round. Not a sponsor.
All right.
Oh, that was a mouthful.
Griswold family Christmas.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
What is blue eggnog?
Well, my normal opening is a evergreen goblet of blue milk from Star Wars.
Oh.
So I transitioned it to blue eggnog, and then sitting by the Christmas tree, making yourself comfortable to something less atrocious than the Star Wars holiday special. That was my daughter's add-in. She's like, it's got to be better than the Star Wars holiday special.
That'll be on Disney Plus, by the way, so you can watch it all together.
That's what I heard. On tonight's podcast, we have Crit and John, and we have a special guest. We would like to welcome tonight Peter. Peter, welcome to the podcast. We are happy to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. And stuff.
It's like, this is where we feed you your lines to show us how great and wonderful we are. And you're supposed to talk about how wonderful the show is and how it's changed your life and just...
It is changing my life. It hasn't changed it yet.
I mean, you're in your contract as a hype man. You should be a little more,
Has it cured any diseases yet? Because that's what we're shooting for. I mean, it's not FDA, certified yet, but it's going to be.
Can we deep fake voices?
Actually, yes, we can. With enough sample size. I mean, that's basically what I'm doing for this podcast, is just getting enough samples of my voice that I no longer have to be in Zoom meetings. Just feed it all to AI and let it answer everything for me.
I'm sure someone's tried. Well, for on tonight's podcast, let's talk about this movie that John gave us last week. And the movie that we have is Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That magnificent gem of a Christmas movie that everybody talks about. Let's talk about it. And what?
And Sinbad. Yeah, don't forget Sinbad.
Oh, excuse me, Sinbad.
Come on. Can't let our boy Sinbad be overshadowed by Arnold Schwarzenegger of all people.
Oh, no. I always thought Arnold Schwarzenegger got overshadowed by Sinbad himself, So that's why I didn't feel like I needed to bring him up, because everybody just assumed Sinbad was there already.
I gotcha.
What do you guys think about this movie?
Perfect timing.
What's that?
Did you all hear that Arnold just had successful heart surgery?
Yes,
I did.
So perfect timing that we're talking about him now.
Perfect timing so that we can maybe get a Jingle All the Way 3. What do you think? Huh?
Was there a second?
No taker.
There is. Well, there is and there isn't. There is. It's horrible. So don't even come close.
It's with Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah. The worst ever.
We don't even talk about that one.
Oh, it's amazing. I haven't seen it, but I just think it's amazing that he's in it.
Yeah. Like, when I think of someone to follow up Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's definitely Larry the Cable Guy.
Their physique is very similar. Oh. Yeah. You were going right where I went, John.
Bulk in different places, but yeah, you're right. Probably similar.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. I'll take Arnold any day of the week, He can give lines like nobody else, man, and stuff. Mm-hmm. So with this movie, we actually sat down with the whole family and watched it. Okay, I got to admit, I said on the last podcast that I hadn't seen it before. I have. Pieces and parts of it. I didn't realize it until I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I have seen this monstrosity before. I say that I didn't realize I'm always a big I always have a big issue with some movies that like where there's everything always continuously goes wrong. And this is one of those. He just never can get anything right. And if someone would just speak up just a little bit and explain just a little bit more, all the things would be resolved. And it never happens. Ever, until it just tortures me to death. Wait, this is not the Halloween ones anymore. Sorry.
Right.
But what did you guys think? Did you laugh in this one? Did you cry?
I shed tears.
Did you?
I cried at how bad it was.
Bad in a good way, Peter, or bad in a bad way?
No, bad in a bad way.
No,
it's definitely campy.
It is. Though there are some, there are some good parts in this movie. There are some, laughs and stuff like that. The one thing that I think I get out of this movie a lot is, wow, people are people that crazy about a toy? Do they go? They really kill themselves that hard? I mean,
it's Black Friday sales.
Yeah, it's exaggerated, but not that far exaggerated.
Right.
Am I just not that parent that does that? I mean,
no, I think nowadays we're growing up now where there's a lot more choice. There's not like this one massive toy that just rules Christmas every year. There's like 5 or 6.
Okay.
So I think that goes a long way in alleviating the craziness, but I still think it's there. I just don't, and I think supply chains have changed as well. A lot of people are going to order things online, then go through the hassle of trying to get them in stores.
Yeah, this was 96. So
yeah,
I just kept thinking the whole time, no internet. Peter, what would you do without no internet, dude? I mean, come on.
I'm not that young.
Hey, oh wait, did anybody actually have a cell phone? I don't think anybody had cell phones either.
No,
he was using a payphone the whole time.
Payphone.
U.S. West.
I mean,
I noticed
that one gag where they're trying to call into the radio station, and Sinbad pulls the cord out of the payphone, and they're on the ground, and Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to, and I'm laughing so hard because underneath him, Sinbad just going 911. He's just yelling 911 into a phone that's not hooked up to the payphone. He knows it's not hooked up to the payphone. He jerked it out of the payphone. He's still yelling that into the thing. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that's one of the good. That whole gag sequence with the bomb at the end was probably one of my favorite sequences out of the film. Messed up people in this world.
Yeah. No.
Did you guys recognize the kid in it?
Yeah,
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah. He actually acted pretty well in this movie. I mean,
I disagree, but go ahead.
Well, you didn't let me finish. What I was gonna say is he did better than Star Wars.
Maybe I don't.
Star Wars, I blame the writing though.
Do you?
I did.
And this one had better writing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying this one had better writing at all. I'm saying I blame Star Wars writing for his poor performance. I think this one had just as atrocious writing in some sections.
Well, the only part that I actually liked was when he's reminiscing and Sinbad's character becomes his kid, becomes Jake Lloyd's character, and he's like, drinking and like,
here's to you, Dad.
Yeah, that's like the only good part that didn't actually annoy me with him. And I mean, child actors are always kind of a shot in the dark. There aren't, they're not. Most of you kind of give them a pass. They're just kids. But at the same time, I wasn't. When he was on screen, especially early in the movie, I was just like, yeah, okay. I was more annoyed than endeared. I guess that's where I came from at.
I actually had a hard time with that scene. I didn't like the fact that they portray children drinking out of the bottle.
Yeah, they should like a civilized person.
Well, it was the manner that they were drinking is what bothered you? Is that what you're saying?
No, just the insinuation that the kid was drinking it all.
Oh,
well, it's supposed to be like a flash forward, but he doesn't know what forward kid is supposed to look like, and so if he doesn't get this, obviously he's putting the kid in Sinbad's shoes for what Sinbad's saying. Saying, oh, Sinbad's saying his dad messed up his life by not getting,
His toy.
the toy that he wanted, and now Arnold's character is projecting it. I don't think it was actually advocating child alcoholism, but what do I know?
Yeah, you don't get your kid the right toy, he's going to turn into an alcoholic. That's the moral we obtain from this movie.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Who could have guessed that? I don't know how many. I really didn't see this that much, at least parts of this. But I could have anticipated that Arnold was eventually going to turn into Turbo Man. I mean, did anybody not see that coming? I mean, it was just like
pretty obvious.
No, it's a pretty good setup from the entire film. Something's going to happen along those lines. And why else would you get Arnold Schwarzenegger if not to play Turbo Man? I swear they wrote the script for Arnold.
He did. They had to have.
trying to sneak like action scenes into him, karate chopping people.
Oh, I tell you what, the Santa
fight.
Santa fight was actually awesome. It was straight up WWE, and it was great. I love it
that Jim Belushi was in it.
Jim was great,
man. And stuff. He was. I thought that scene, and then the guy that the little guy, the little person that was in there. That guy is in so many movies, and he is always just like feisty and fantastic.
Yep.
And
is he the one with the taser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tased him in the taint. That's terrible.
Yeah, it's gotta hurt.
It was just going to bring up the same thing. Oh my goodness.
I don't know if any of you picked up on this, but I laughed when the police bust in and they all shouted, "It's the Grinch!"
Yeah. I did pick up on that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Or what was their password to get in? I was just like
Batman smells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jingle bells, Batman
smells.
Just so cliche, man. It's just
well, and then just the fact that it's a Spanish-speaking doll.
Yeah,
like
that was great.
That one cracked me up so bad. I was like, kids are gonna hate this.
It's our multilingual model.
You know, it's
educational.
My wife brought this up. That now that you bring that up, she's like, "Do you know how many aspects of this movie are like things they ripped off in Toy Story?" Like that very beginning opening scene, that's kind of a Toy Story. Like, I know it's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but there's some aspects that you could say they were kind of like the original, like Zurg, like Toy Story stuff. And then,
that's all based on the Sentai stuff from Japan anyway. Like all of it is.
Well, and then the multilingual, like in the third one, they do the multilingual Buzz Lightyear. I mean, there was just a few little things that kind of gave me some callbacks to Toy Story on that.
Well, wait, was Toy Story before Jingle All the Way?
Toy Story was 1996, just like Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
I can't tell if it released before.
Well, the third one with the multilingual, it was
released.
like in way the middle 2000s. So,
yeah, I think it's just similar ideas. They're kind of obvious, maybe not obvious, but if you're writing for these things,
if you're making fun of toys,
you're probably going to hit in the same place.
Yeah, no. It was just kind of interesting how so many things like aligned. Like my wife was like, it was enough that my wife's like, Toy Story-esque, isn't it? And I'm like, oh, I guess it is. You know, that they were pulling from similar aspects and stuff, but
yeah.
But I'll tell you what, it started to grind on me a little bit. The whole him going out to stores and not being able to find that toy that to make it up to his son, you know. After like the fifth store, I mean, there was some funny scenes. I guess the bouncing ball scene was pretty funny.
I always gag at the ball pits.
Oh,
first into it, and I'm just like, those things are toxic waste dumps. That's terrible. He must have gotten extra hazard pay to do that stunt.
I mean, how many dirty diapers do you think are going to be in there at any given time? I mean, it's we always joke about with our family when you go to Rigby Lake and stuff like that. It's yeah, it's like, you know, how you just
is Rigby Lake the ball pit of lakes?
Shout out to Rigby Lake.
Yes, it's like the ball pits. Like if it later in the year, if it's if you go in there, there's always been a running joke in our family, like, you know, how many dirty diapers we're going to see floating in the Rigby Lake at any given time in the year. So
wow,
it's happened.
So Speaking of during that time where they're getting the Super Balls for the raffle, did anybody else think that the Rodney King comment maybe didn't age well?
Yes.
Which one?
When Sinbad's basically tackled when Arnold's like, he has two, and they all tackle him and stuff like that. He starts yelling, Rodney King, while he's being held down. And
Yeah, it did not age well.
yeah, I was like,
There's a few jokes in here that just haven't
interesting.
aged well.
I did like the music choice in that scene.
Mhm.
The most wonderful time of the year,
Yes.
as everyone's storming the toy store.
I thought the music was pretty on point for the whole movie.
Yeah.
This whole movie, I don't know what's going on. This is a Christopher Columbus movie. I mean, he's known for these type of movies. I mean, Christopher Columbus did Home Alone.
Didn't
And
he
yet,
do?
what's
He
that?
did. He did.
He did the first two Harry Potters as well.
Yeah, he did the first two Harry Potters, but I don't see him on the.
It's
list.
not Christopher Columbus. This is Brian Levant. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it must have been produced by Chris Columbus because it's his company,
Maybe.
1492.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that he wasn't the director. I just saw at the beginning of the movie that it was 1492. So it must have been produced by him, but still, maybe that's why it maybe felt a little off. Because, usually there's a certain level of a Christopher Columbus movie that you expect,
Yeah, he does a good job usually.
Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
he's got stinkers, but I mean,
Brian Levant, the only real thing that he did that I've seen is the Flintstones.
Oh, that explains a lot.
wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
That poor flop.
He did well enough to do Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, it's true.
Which one came first, Flintstones or Jingle?
Flintstones.
At 94.
Oh,
Yeah.
that movie. I'm going to be honest with you, never seen that movie all the way through. I just couldn't do it, guys.
I hear you.
I mean, Halle Berry and Goodman don't do it for you.
I really like both of those guys. I like Rick Moranis.
Rick's great.
That was one of his last films, wasn't it?
It was
I'm not
one of
sure.
them. I thought it was one of those last films that I thought was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The second one. Second or third one.
Honey, I Blew Up the Kids or whatever.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he's
one
coming
of those
back. I don't
two.
know if you guys heard. He's coming back to do another Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yep.
Good for him.
He's going to come out of retirement now that his kids are now
grown.
grown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I respect him for his decision on what he did. That was a cool thing. And stuff.
Yeah, it was really good. And he did a couple of things. He did Brother Bear in 2003, it looks like, but
He's done a
I'm
voice
excited to
things
see
and stuff.
him back. Really excited. I wonder if Jingle All the Way would have changed if Rick Moranis was somehow shoved in there. Just shoved somewhere.
Or if they'd thrown in like a, oh my goodness, John Goodman. Who's the other one I'm thinking of? Uncle Buck guy. Why can't I think of his name?
John Candy?
John Candy. Oh my goodness. Throw a John Candy in there. I think James Belushi was about the closest they could get to a John Candy or a...
Well, what about Phil Hartman?
Oh,
you got
I
Phil
wanted
Hartman.
to talk about Phil big time. That was one place I definitely wanted to
sock
go.
him in the face.
Dude, that guy is so flippin' creepy, next door neighbor guy.
He plays it so well that I hate him in that role.
And stuff. He is...
Absolutely.
When you talk about your mom jokes, man, that he is definitely trying to do it with all the moms. All right. Good for
Well,
him, I guess. I loved how creepy that was at the
It seems to
family
work.
thing, though. I know.
Yeah,
it's like, thanks for fixing my screen door.
Yeah, at the karate, they're all just like all these,
Fawning over him.
yeah.
Thanks for fixing my porch light. And I kept looking over at my wife, and I'm like, is that what they're calling it these days? Oh, no. That must be the old way. Now the porch light is the new way.
Well, had I known that porch light was the way into women's hearts, our porch light would already be repaired. So I should try fixing our porch light and see what happens.
And stuff. Maybe you should talk. Yeah. And then wait for your
guys-
wife to have your baby.
You guys want another kid? Maybe you should hold off on fixing it for a little bit.
That's true. That's
But
true.
John, you need
Well,
to give her a
hey,
break. I'm just
I'm-
saying, give her a break.
We're taking steps after this. Don't worry. We're done. We're
All
done
right.
after this.
And now all of YouTube.
So I can
Everybody?
I can go fix the porch lights I want after this.
Right.
Peter, did you want to jump in on fixing your own porch light or anything like that?
Whoa.
Our HOA won't let me have a broken porch light.
Oh, you're in an HOA. Ouch.
Yeah.
Wait, is it HOA like in this scenario? Like, is it like a condom or is it like what is this scenario or thing we're calling this?
I think it'd be the mother-in-law.
Sure.
We're gonna go with that. Peter's
Sure.
good with that. Oh no, Phil Hartman
nailed it.
He nailed it as the creepy guy that every time he'd go and like make a pass at Rita Wilson. By the way, it was good to see her in these movies. You don't see her in movies too much anymore.
Well, I mean, it was back in
This was 96.
True. She still
Exactly.
could. She still looks super good.
Yeah.
And stuff. But that whole scenario of I'm eating your wife's cookies. Oh man. Some of those lines that he had were great. But it's like I kept telling my kids, I was like, oh man, I miss him. I really miss him in his humor because he was just taken from us way too early.
Well, this is the second movie we've done with him in it.
What was the other one we did with Phil Hartman in it?
He had a guest spot in Loaded Weapon 1.
Shoot. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, he's classic. I was kind of telling the kids a little bit about some of the characters that he did on Saturday Night Live. Just, a true, good comedian. But anyways, some of the things he did here, I just, unforgivable. Whatever, I guess. But just that whole, but slimy in the same way of using his kid, using his, all that stuff to get at the ladies. I guess you do what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's set up for the joke, but I'm not.
He's like the foil in the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff. It felt weird. I don't know if it just like he felt like he was a filler. Did you feel like he was kind of filler for the movie?
I thought, from a writing perspective, I thought it was basically he's showing, at least at a surface level, how Arnold's character is doing everything wrong as a father and husband.
Okay.
Like he's supposed to be the example. Now, I don't know how that works with him being so creepy and lecherous, but whatever. And I feel like that's like the original intention of it, and then you just let Phil Hartman do his thing, and then that's when you get surface level perfect dad, perfect that type of. They can't be perfect husband because he's divorced, but that you get that set up anyway from the dad perspective.
Hey, at the very least, we got a freaking reindeer out of this. Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
punching a reindeer.
Punching a reindeer.
Yeah, a drunk reindeer. Yeah.
I mean, anytime you get a drunk reindeer that he's fighting, I mean, dude, I'm in. I'm in. I don't care how bad the movie is. Game on. And stuff. Reindeer fights. Oh, yeah. That should be a sport. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think there's something about this movie that feels like a bunch of SNL skits kind of strung together.
I could see that. Yeah,
It's like the bomb set up and payoff.
It feels like it'd be an SNL movie almost.
Yeah, like if Sinbad and Arnold co-hosted SNL.
Yeah.
I don't know. SNL was pretty raunchy back then, so.
That's what I'm saying. It'd have to be a little more raunchy.
Well, it'd be a little bit more. Yeah, I get you.
The one thing that, and I agree with that because then you get like all the setups. There's like setups like all over the place. It felt like kind of pieced and parted together, like you'd see a Wayne's World or one of the other SNL movies. And then you'd see all these like setups, and then you'd see like the follow through, like with the cop.
Yeah, a couple of reincorporations. Yeah,
every time he'd like get in trouble, there was the cop, and that was funny the first couple of times, and then it was like really old at the end. Though it was good to see Robert Conrad. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's an older actor.
In '96, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he's an older actor. He played in a lot of like war TV shows. He's on one of my dad's favorite shows called Baba Black Sheep. about old World War II fighter planes. And that's the only reason I really know him. And he's a famous movie star too, but that's the one thing I do know him from. And I used to watch that show with my dad when I was younger and stuff, being like, "Hey, Dad, that's war, huh?" "Yeah, son, that's war." As they drop bombs on everybody.
War never changes.
You know?
Oh, man.
Thanks for showing me war, Dad. But anyways, it was good to see him because he's a dang good actor, and I think he played a good role, even though it was the same thing over and over and over again. I know comedy is supposed to. I mean, the payoffs are sometimes going too long and making it drag out and stuff.
It wasn't Loaded Weapon long though.
True.
What do you mean by that, John?
Yeah, you just picked a fight.
What do you mean by that?
Call back to my original problem with Loaded Weapon was the setups were always too long and too arduous.
Every time you word it that way, it reminds me of the Naked Gun thing. I've said this before in another podcast. I'm not going to reiterate it, but yeah, Naked Gun 2-part. Anyways, when he's referencing sex.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just anyway. So what you're trying to say is Loaded Weapon did it the right way and this one did it the wrong way? That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying both of them probably did it the wrong way.
Damn you.
You're fired. Peter has replaced you.
You wondered why we invited Peter into this, didn't you, John?
I saw your RSS feed.
I'm going to go have my own podcast with blackjack and hookers.
All right.
Wait, blackjack the gum? I mean, that's gross gum. You can have that, dude. I mean, it's black liquor.
No, it's a callback to Futurama.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
That hurts.
That's pretty good.
Anyways, well, but I would say definitely Phil Hartman was definitely one of the best parts of this movie and stuff, because the whole setup of him becoming like, him like going through and not being able to find that toy that his kid's got to have to win back his love in his heart, and then becoming the hero that he is at the end. I don't know. That just, though I can't say I hated it. I didn't hate it. I just can't say that I would ever watch it again because I just have a hard time with that whole thing of Sinbad. Just give it up, dude. Just give it up. Him at the very end where he gets all dressed up to try to steal a kid's toy back from a kid. I mean, that's where I think I would just maybe went over the line from him. Like, you're trying to beat the crap out of a kid to get a toy. Come on, dude. That's
why I say it feels like SNL skits strung together.
I had so many issues with the continuity of that character.
Like what?
Of Sinbad's character?
Yeah, well, so all the shopping's happening on Christmas Eve, yet he's still walking around with a mail bag. I don't think they deliver mail on Christmas Eve. And then at multiple times, he's like discarding mail onto the ground. He's walking around with these mail bags, like, and
he's gonna get fired so fast.
Yeah,
I think he
and
might have
probably
already
taken to jail.
I think he might have already been laid off. I think that's part of his diatribe at the beginning when he first meets Arnold's character, is that he's kind of talking about all the things that have happened to him. I'm not even I get this distinct impression that he stole the mail, he stole the truck, and he's just off his rocker.
By the way, did you notice that there was another old comment or phrase that they used that did not age well? Like some people might not even know what it is if they heard it now. It was associated with him going postal. They were making like jokes about that the whole time, like
the crazy mailman, shooting up the place and stuff like that.
Because it was about that time those things were happening, where the guy exploded It was like 96, 97 when those happened.
Well, it couldn't have been 97 because they were making the movie in 95 that came out in 96.
Then they made it, and they were predicting the future.
I mean, I guess it could have happened in early 96, but
well, what else did they predict then?
I don't know. What else? What else did you find, Peter? That what else bugged you besides? Did anything else bug you besides the mailman?
A whole bunch of stuff.
Well, bring it on.
Well, let's see.
It is a masterpiece. I mean, I
Let
hate
me
to
pull
tear
out
it
my
down.
list.
If you
So-
made a list, then you're at home at this podcast.
Yeah. So, like, as an example,
Okay.
Arnold's character, when he breaks into Ted's house, right? Right before he sets the house on fire and the reindeer attacks him, he's trying to steal the toy from underneath the tree. And he looks at it and goes, "What am I doing? Why am I stealing from a child?" Yet, like, 45 minutes earlier, he was trying to steal a ball out of a kid's mouth.
Got good point.
Right?
That's a good
And,
point.
another example, when he's at
his
the
defense,
underground.
That
What?
wasn't in his defense. That wasn't a present. That was just a random Super Ball that she picked up.
Okay, fair. Earlier, at the underground Santa workshop thing, he says, "I'm not going to hit a Santa Claus." Yet 15 minutes earlier, he was beating up people at a mall and again assaulting a child.
In his defense, those weren't Santa Clauses.
Santa Clauses.
I just said
these are
so
fine
many
minds.
issues.
These
Like-
are fine minds.
We're delving into the character that is, oh crap, what's his name? Howard Langston.
Howard Langston. Yeah.
Yeah, Howard.
We're just he's just showing us the human condition during 1996 Christmas.
I just had so many, like, all the random times that people were just kind of, he and Sinbad's character fighting, and basically nobody cares. At one point Sinbad chokes a woman in a crowd, and everyone's just kind of like, whatever.
Well, yeah, I can't defend that one.
And the pepper spray to the eyes, and Arnold seems to just shrug it off like 30 seconds later, and
In
I
his
don't know.
defense,
That
that
one's
is
just
Arnold.
Arnold.
Yeah,
that's
that's
Arnold.
just Arnold. But at the same time, the most unbelievable thing about this movie? I didn't see a home gym with tons of weights everywhere.
Yeah,
in his
where's
home.
he bulking up?
Yeah, like
He's got to be going to like an office gym or something along those
because
lines.
they show him working late and everybody's his favorite customer and he's doing that whole thing and I'm like, no,
His
I'm
wife's his
sorry.
Where's
favorite
he getting
customer.
time to bulk up?
A workaholic isn't going to look like he looks. I mean, he just
Right.
won't.
You know another thing that bugged me, Peter?
What's that?
Was that how many freaking times did he just randomly run into Sinbad? Just happened to be at this like out of the a random place, and there's Sinbad.
So
He's
I-
also
I
having
think-
coffee.
I think Sinbad is following him.
I think Sinbad is a figment of his imagination. We're looking at schizophrenia, people. He didn't exist through the whole movie.
That would actually make the movie much more interesting.
Imagine a random black man.
Yeah, it's actually him choking the woman in line.
So this is Dearden, or what his name is on Fight Club. This is
Tyler Durden.
Tyler Dearden. This is like a Tyler
Durden.
Durden thing.
Yeah,
And stuff.
I think it might be. I think this might be a precursor to Fight Club.
Fight Club Children's Edition.
Fight Club prequel. It's the prequel of the prequel. The
But you're
untold
right,
story.
The amount of times he runs into him, like, I know it's comedic irony, but it happened too conveniently and too frequently.
It's a cartoon plot, right? It's got to be. It's a plot that makes sense in a children's cartoon. Some of the jokes aren't for kids, but
Next door petting Ted.
yeah, that was pretty funny though.
That's one of the better jokes. What do you mean he's next door petting Ted? She's next door petting Ted. Yummy.
The reindeer named Ted.
Oh yeah, that guy. Oh my goodness. Well, all I can say is I don't regret watching this movie, guys, but I will regret it again if you make me watch it again. And stuff.
So we're ready for ratings.
I don't know. Are we?
Yeah.
One last thing.
Oh yeah.
So I watched it with my kids,
Okay.
and my son walked out of the room.
Was he
What?
just offended? He's like, boys aren't represented well in this movie.
No, he straight up said, "This movie is mean. I don't like it. It's not as fun as the other Christmas movies."
Okay.
Did your
From the
daughter
mouth
watch
of
it? Though?
babes.
There's something wrong with your child.
Did you watch? Well, the question is,
My daughter
does,
did watch it for the most part.
so what
She
does that
didn't
say
like it
about your
towards the
daughter?
end.
Oh, there we go.
So you have at least one semi-normal child.
Ouch.
There's something.
Okay.
This is a family classic. This is.
Well,
I don't know that it is though.
It's either you haven't watched
probably isn't,
enough
actually.
horrible Christmas movies in order to kind of get over. Yeah, can't say the word. To basically get used to these types of movies.
To numb yourself.
Yeah, to numb yourself. Yeah.
Oh man. Would I watch this with my mother in the room? The answer is yes. I don't think she'd walk out. I think she would like ask what's going on half the time with Sinbad, but other than that, I would watch it with her in the room. And this was a family classic when I grew up.
So she
Well,
has
not
watched it with you in the room, is what you're saying?
She did. Indeed.
Crit, what would you do for this, man? What's your rating?
I'd do 47 out of 63. Put that cookie down.
That was a great quote.
That was one of the best.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give this 6 out of 666 ratings of
It's a really
Turbo
low
Mans.
rating.
Yeah, that's really.
That's a
Really
really
low.
low rating. Like less than a 1 out of 10.
Fine, 6 out of 10. But I still go with my first comment for real. 6
Okay.
out of 666. Dude.
Well,
And I would not buy this, by the way.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All right, well let's see what you bring to the table then, Josh.
And stuff. Well,
Peter.
no, we got to get for Peter. What's
Oh,
his
yeah.
reading?
Yeah, that's
Peter's
right.
rating.
I would probably rank it at like a 4 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough.
So
Yeah.
better than my 6 out of 666 then.
Well, I mean, if that's a real rating.
There are no real ratings. All the points here are fake.
Oh, in that case, let's do like 3 out of 7.
There you go.
Man, that's harsh. You could have did a 6 of 9. I mean, they're
That's high.
That's high.
dang it, that's so high. Dang it, I'm just going with the hotness of, well, or then we go 7 of 9. But that's way hotter. She's hot. Dang it, you got to go lower.
But
Dang it.
you're making references that are just way out of scope, man. I got to
know.
pull you back in.
I know you are.
The random Star Trek characters as your ratings.
Ooh, maybe I should change my ratings and stuff. No, that'd be too hard.
No, you rate a scale, 10 characters from 1 being the one you hate to 10 being Picard, and then you just kind of, you just list the person.
I'm glad that you knew to put Picard at number 10, dude. And
I know you
Good
well
for
enough.
you. Good for you. All right, what do I bring to the table? All right, here's my movies, and I just pull these names, these descriptions out of my butt, literally, just right before it, because
I hope not literally. That would be terrible.
Oh man, you should be on this side smelling them. Yeah. Anyway,
He pulls out a list.
yeah.
These suggestions stink.
It reminds me of the prison pen from the kid in Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 1. If you get these, I know you're going to get them because I really didn't think them through that hard. Number 1, Christmas with the house exploding. Number 2, Christmas being in the friend zone. And 3, Christmas, the movie.
All right.
I
John,
like,
what are you thinking?
I like 3, Christmas, the movie.
Yeah, I think I know what 1 and 2 are, so 3 would be a little bit more of a mystery for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of leaning towards the same way.
Peter, what are you thinking?
I have no idea.
Okay. By default, 3 wins.
All right, number 1, what did you think it was?
National Lampoons.
Yeah, National Lampoons.
It is. Number
Okay.
2,
What was number 2 again?
Christmas being in the friend zone.
Don't tell me it's the one with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No,
I
Okay,
thought it
that's
might have
good.
been the one with what's his name who plays Deadpool.
you're right. Good job. I
Ryan
didn't know.
Reynolds.
It is.
Ryan
It's
Reynolds.
just friends.
Just Friends. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it, but
That's
Is that a
Christopher
Christmas one?
Jensen's favorite one. Call it Christopher.
Shout out to Christopher.
That's one of his favorites of all time. All right, you ready for this?
Yep.
You may or may not have wanted to pick this one. I wanted to pick an oddball. Santa Claus the movie with Dudley. Why can't I think of his name now? His name
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen?
We're not watching this. I'm confused which one. Santa Claus the movie.
Yes, with Dudley Moore.
With Dudley Moore. Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
Nope.
This is one that it's so bad it's good.
Well, you'll definitely hear about it.
And it is a
Yeah.
comedy. It is a comedy. I mean, it definitely has some funny parts. It's got John Lithgow in it. It's got
like
Dudley
John Lithgow.
Moore. So if you've never, have any of you seen Santa Claus the movie from the early 80s?
I'm looking it up real quick because I don't remember if I've seen it or not. I might have, but
I knew I was pulling
I have.
pulling a hat out of the bag on this one. 1985 is Santa Claus the movie, and it is.
I probably saw it on cable at one point in time. But
It used
I definitely
to-
don't remember it.
In the old days, the reason I used to watch it all the time was it
Mhm.
was reran on HBO all the time.
Right.
It was constantly on HBO in the early, mid 80s when it came out.
Gotcha.
And so that's the
Okay.
so just know it's cheesy. But at the
That's
same
all right.
time, you know what? I thought this would be kind of a fun one that we haven't seen before. I haven't seen it for years. To
Yeah,
take a look at.
I mean, we'll wait to have the sophisticated Christmas comedy movies for my suggestions next week if I can find such
yeah.
a unicorn.
Hey, I gave you guys sophisticated choices. You just didn't pick them.
Is
Uh,
National Lampoon sophisticated?
Yeah, I don't think National Lampoons or Just Friends is sophisticated, but
Peter, I'm offended that you even had to ask that question. How dare you? Of course it is.
Yeah.
And
Of
stuff.
course it's not. I mean, it's great, but it's not sophisticated.
I'm going to drag you out and leave you for dead in the middle of the desert.
Okay, it depends on the desert, though.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And stuff. Idaho Falls?
Don't do it, please.
Oh, bad. All right. Well, all I can say is, Peter, you are always welcome. If you ever want to come back with us, we would be glad to have you. And thanks for the
Thank you.
conversation. And John and Crit, I don't know about you guys.
yeah, I don't know.
And
I mean,
stuff.
right now I'm just furniture, so
I'm on the fence if you guys should come back. Anyway, good luck with Santa Claus the movie. It is on one of the streaming ones. I did look it up, so you
Wait.
will be able to find it.
wait. Why do you have an issue with me? John's the one that attacked your favorite movie.
Which movie did I attack?
Oh, do we
Loaded
have to go
Weapon?
into that again?
Well, I attacked that one. I attacked the CGI in Last Starfighter.
Ugh.
Why are you opening up old wounds, dude?
How are you still in this podcast? He should have kicked you out long ago.
Oh, well, great. Thanks for everybody for listening. To everybody listening, may you be excellent to each other and live long and prosper from all of us here at Josh's House of Nerd. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching. For more nerdy awesomeness, please like and subscribe and check out our other nerdy videos.